And I'll just sit here. But you can take just a comfortable seat, cross-legged or half lotus. I know, Janet, I know you've been going into the full lotus. So if you're going to bust that out, you got it. Or you can stack one leg in front of the other. And just a couple of mindful breaths, just a couple breaths to arrive. Just remembering, of course, that um, yoga and all this movement, all those poses is a relatively new feature. It's a kind of a modern or contemporary style of yoga. And really, though asana helps to prepare the body and balance it, and it certainly does all that. It is also really to prepare for meditation and work with the breath. So our primary practice is always the breath. So starting with that, so anchoring down in the sits bones, bringing that slight forward tilt to the pelvis. Hands can rest gently on the knees. That's nice to help support the spine. And not overdoing the spine, keeping it straight and erect, but letting it ease into its natural curves. Again, that forward tilt of the pelvis, especially if you're up on something, helps to just mildly accentuate the lumbar curve and bring some buoyancy to the torso. Nice. And then relax the shoulders. You can roll those a couple times. Long neck, chin tucks slightly. Crown of the head lifts towards the ceiling. If it feels okay, you can close the eyes or just take a soft gaze in front of you. Working with breath. Today, let's work on the abdomen. We've been working with the tip of the nose, and that's always a fine access point or an egress point for the breath. Feel free to work with that if it's more suitable to you. But otherwise, today, let's work with the abdomen as you inhale, feeling the belly expand. And then nice and easy, just as you exhale, just feeling all that pull gently in. The navel gently draws towards the spine. Good, maintaining awareness of the belly, of the movement of the belly, of the muscles of the stomach, the diaphragm, as it contracts and then expands or flattens. Good. On the inhale, expanding, ballooning the belly. And as you exhale, gently contracting the navel towards the spine. But just mindful, just aware. Inhale into the belly. Exhale, gently release. Good, a couple more like that at your own rhythm. Working to establish a steady rhythm for the class. Not controlling the breath, but bringing some regulation to it. And that's the best we can do. Good. Good. And since we're seated, let's go ahead and just warm up the body a little bit more, really warming up the spine before we get to our standing sequence, and then we'll be again mostly on the floor. It's a little bit of a playful class, so we'll see how it goes, all right? Keep attention on the breath. If working inside the nostrils, the tip of the nose is functional for you, great. Otherwise, try to bring the breath down into the throat, working with that ujjayi breath, where you have that moderate constriction of the throat, and just so it sounds almost like you're standing in front of the ocean as you inhale and exhale, and letting that sound bring you back, grounding you, letting the sound of the breath be an anchor to the present moment. Good, so sticking with that, and already let's just come into movement, into those hip circles you're so accustomed to in all the classes. Just rolling on top of the sits bones, rolling on top of the pelvis, going in one direction to begin with. Good. Again, coming to the breath, regulating the breath, establishing a rhythm. Good. And switch the rotation. Good. And just notice sensations. Asana is great for that. Poses, yoga poses are great for mindfulness of sensation. And then also watching our responses, our reactions to those sensations. We've been talking about this the last few classes, of course. But just seeing what kind of evaluation we bring to the sensation immediately. Pleasant or unpleasant or neutral or mixed. And just greeting that response. Good. Trying not to judge it and not worrying about necessarily changing it. Good. And then re-lengthen the spine. Come back to the breath if you lost that. Again, tip of the nose, or maybe you're working with the abdomen or coming in really into that deep, rhythmic, steady ujjayi breath. Good. One mindful breath, length of the inhalation, length of the exhalation. Good. And just from here, cat and cow. We do this in the chair class, of course, but it's a good opportunity just seated. We'll be in a table pose, but we'll skip this prep. So it's nice to do it here. For cow, on the inhale, pull the heart through the shoulders, really accentuate the low curve, ground the sits bones down though. And then as you exhale, round the shoulders, pull the shoulders up towards the ears, even pulling the tailbone under. Nice. And then just easy does it, flow between those two positions. Noticing sensation all the whole way. The length of the spine as it comes into extension in this cow pose, and maybe take the eyes, the gaze up, the chin lifts, and then as you exhale and it comes into flexion, it rounds for cat. Good. Steady breathing. Really come back to that breath. Really make that the primary. You skip poses, great. Just stay with the breath. Stay with that movement of breath and movement of prana as it comes in and as it goes out. Nice. Good. Warming up the spine from top to bottom. Good. A little bit of side bending, some lateral flexion. Take the right hand, plant it down next to the hip. Spread the fingers wide, push into the palm, and then let that help ground down the left hip bone. Inhale, raise the left arm up overhead, and to begin with, maybe bend at the elbow. Take it across the side. Again, push into the palm to help ground down this hip, and then stretch the left side body. Open this left side body. Maybe even look up. Moderate rotation here too. Couple breaths. Good. Inhale. Exhale, release. Good. Ground down. Left hand. Spread the fingers wide like you would in downward facing dog. Get that palm really to meet the earth. And then push into the palm and let that help facilitate more anchoring in the right hip. Inhale, lift the right arm up overhead. Maybe watch that arm come over. Bend a little bit at the elbow. Again, remind the palm to push down. And then breathe into the right side ribs. Nice. Let it feel good. Let it feel like opening. As always, if there's any acute pain, always want to back off from that. A little bit of tension may be okay, but not acute. Inhale, come back up. Good. And then as you exhale, just gentle twist to the right. Lift the spine. And just take the left palm to the thigh. Easy, easy twisting. Good. When you exhale, come back to neutral. Re-lengthen the spine for a moment. Let it pause in a neutral position. Inhale. And then as you exhale, when you're ready, just take the right hand to the other thigh, push down with the other hand, the left palm, and just find some length and gentle twist. Exhale, come back to center. Again, pause in neutral. And then again, repeating that right palm down, fingers spread wide, like in downward facing dog. As you inhale, take the left arm overhead, across the side of the head, across the left ear. Remind the palm to push to help sink that left hip down. And then side body stretch. Exhale, undo it. Switch the sides. Push in the left palm. Stretch the right arm overhead. Really ground down the right hip. And then exhale, undo it. Come back to center, back to neutral. Let the spine rest. We've been working it a little bit, so let it rest here in neutral. We'll twist one more time each side. But first, let it sit. Come back to that breath. Smooth it out. Cool. And then inhale again, kind of push into maybe tented fingertips here, the right fingertips or right palm. And then take the left arm, left hand across towards the right thigh, right knee. When you inhale, just lengthen the spine, and then exhale, gentle twist towards the right. We have some deeper twists later, so don't make these too intense. Inhale back to center. Again, pause in neutral. Let the spine be in a neutral pose. Good, and after one cycle of breath, as you inhale, lengthen spine, and then exhale, twist left. Again, right hand coming across the front of the body to the outside of the left thigh or left knee. Left arm straight, right down next to the hip. Good. Inhale, when you're ready, come back to neutral. Exhale. Inhale in neutral. And then exhale, just a real simple forward fold. You can walk the fingertips forward in front of you, maybe come down onto forearms if that's accessible, or come onto a small raised platform, some blocks, whatever. And just gently relax the head and neck. Good. Inhale, come back up. And then exhale, come into table for a moment. So knees under hips, wrists under shoulders, fingers spread wide. And here, pause in table with a neutral spine, so long spine. And then today, just do some barrel rolls or circles here. If you want to come back to that cat and cow pose, if that felt good, go ahead and do that. Otherwise, just go in one direction using the knees to roll on top of, the wrists to roll on top of, unless there's a lot of pain in them. And then you could switch. Just come onto the forearms and just take some nice movements here in this table pose, or if you're down in a kind of modified child's pose, that would feel good. That feel maybe even just like a little indulgent in just afternoon. Maybe they're accentuated. Good, and then switch the directions. Coming back to the breath, just enjoying this movement. Good. Good. And then from here, maybe just take the knees back a little bit so you can pull forward. The arms are straight and come into a really sloppy cobra. So my hips, my pelvis come down to meet the mat. My arms are straight and I'm just kind of sinking into this. Just letting the hips, the front of the hips, the flexors stretch out, open up. But I'm not down and I'm not really engaging my low back at all. Tops of the feet are flat, legs are extended. If this feels weird, just go into a child's pose. That's a nice alternative for this. Or come all the way onto the stomach and do just a really easy cobra with just a tiny bit of engagement of the low back. Here I'm just trying to kind of extend that the sort of indulgence or enjoyment of those moves in table that we just did. So that's really the only purpose here. Good. Good. And then push back, downward facing dog. So fingers are spread wide. Start with really bent knees today. And then one by one, walking out the dog. So straightening one leg and then bending that knee and then straightening the other. And maybe letting the hips shake a bit. But relaxing the neck, taking it from side to side. Shaking it, no. Shaking it, yes. Good, and here, this is a moderate inversion. So, if you know in your body inversions where the head is below the heart are not so good, you can take this on the chair. You can do just coming down on the forearms. Or you can go to the wall and do a version at the wall where you push into the hands and then take the legs out and then just try to sink the heart even down and just get a nice stretch in the back and the thoracic spine if you're against the wall. It's a good option. Good, we've been here for a few breaths. Nice. So really bend the knees and then push into the hands. Gravity really wants to take you forward in this pose. So pushing into the hands helps push the heart back and then down. And then with the bent knees, do bring the knees all the way down to the mat. And then come forward with the shoulders so that they start to track over the wrists. And then again, engage the low back a little bit, lift the hips up, lift the back, the bottom up towards the ceiling. And then again, find your exhale, bend at the elbows, and then drop the chest in between the hands, drop the chin. Good, flatten the tops of the feet on the mat. And then now as you inhale, come up for a real baby cobra. So pelvis is nice and grounded on the mat. Again, fingers are spread wide and elbows are tucked in against the side ribs. They're bent, elbows are bent. And grip with the fingers here. Just gently pull back towards your feet with the hands. Good, so you create engagement there, helps to engage the low back, but just real moderate engagement with the low back. Nice. One more breath here. And then exhale. Again, tuck the toes, bend the knees, lift the hips, push into the palms, downward facing dog. Good, just one breath here. Inhale, push into the palms. And then bend the knees and exhale. Gently just walk forward. Maybe you can get there with one step, but walking felt good. On the inhale, bring the fingertips to the shins, just under the knees, or maybe all the way on the thighs if that feels better for your body. But create a long spine in this half lift. Neck is long, so take the gaze down. Good. Extra breath here. And then exhale. On your exhale, fold forward. Good. Inhale, bend into the knees, push into the soles of the feet, sweep all the way up. And then exhale, hands heart center. Good. A couple of easy Surya Namaskar A's. Again, all this is modifiable. Today, since we've been working on it, I'll do the first one with a knee down plank, but only that one. We're not going to do too many of these. But otherwise, I'll be doing and demoing with a full version of plank. So if you'd like to take that version of plank today, great. If you want the knee down plank, that's also good, a really good option. All right. Starting Tadasana at the top of the mat, feet under the hips, or maybe feet touching, the toes touching if you like that stance, if that feels good in your body. Good, ground down. Good, long spine. Good, heart lifts, even, confident torso. Good, back of the neck is long. And then find your breath. Exhale wherever you are in the breath cycle. And then inhale, sweep the arms out, look up, hands come up. And then exhale, hinge from the hips, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway, again, nice and long spine. And then exhale, plant the hands. Step the right foot back and then step the left foot back. For this one, do drop the knees, so gently come down on the knees. Good. Here, a knee down plank, one extra breath. Like we did in Cobra, fingers are spread wide. Pull the fingertips back towards the feet. Feel the front of the core engage. Good. And then as you exhale, take the shoulders over the wrists, bend at the elbows. As you do so, lift the hips nice and high, drop the chest, drop the chin. Good. Inhale, drop the pelvis, pull the heart through the shoulders for this medium or baby cobra. Good, extra breath here. Inhale. Exhale, push into the palms, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. A couple breaths here. Again, push into the palms to help push the weight back, kind of work against gravity here. Good, as you do so, lengthen the backs of the legs, lengthen the heels down towards the mat. Good. Inhale, bend the knees. Exhale, step, walk forward. Forward fold. Inhale, bring the fingertips to the shins, nice and long spine. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, push into the feet, sweep all the way up and look up. Exhale, hands heart center, push the palms together. Good. Inhale, sweep the arms, look up. Exhale, hinge from the hips, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway, fingers on the shins, long spine, long neck, gazes down. Exhale, plant the hands, step the left foot back, then the right. Drop the knees if you're working with that knee down plank. Otherwise, nice and long, knee up plank, inhale here. And then exhale, do drop the knees if they aren't. Lift the hips, drop the chest and the chin in between the hands. Good, pelvis comes down as you inhale. Pull the fingertips back towards the feet. Pull the heart through the shoulder blades, bending at the elbows for cobra. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Tuck the toes, push into the palms. Good. Fingers are spread wide. Again, bring awareness to the palms. Push them again into the mat. Heart drifts down towards the mat. Good. Back of the legs. Maybe lengthen. If knees are bent here, perfectly good option. Heels do not need to touch the mat. Good, one more breath here. Inhale, bend the knees, look forward. Exhale, step, walk forward, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway, long spine. Exhale, fold forward. Push into the feet. Inhale, sweep all the way up. Exhale, hands heart center. Nice. One more. Inhale, sweep the arms, look up. Exhale, hinge from the hips, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, plant the hands, step back to plank or knee down plank. Inhale and plank. And then exhale with that knee down chaturanga where you lift the hips, drop the chest and chin. Or if you're working on that full chaturanga, bend at the elbows. Come all the way down to the stomach though. Plant the feet, push the pelvis into the mat. Inhale for cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale and downward facing dog. Push the palms. Exhale, lengthen the heels down. Good, inhale, steady breath. Exhale, nice and slow, smooth. Inhale, bend the knees, look forward. Exhale, step, walk forward, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, push into the feet, sweep up, look up. Exhale, hands heart center. Good, pause here. Feel the movement changing in the body, the sensation changing in the body, the echo of that movement. Push the palms together. Good, reach the crown of the head, long spine. Ground the feet into the earth. Good, as you inhale, feel the air almost coming up through the feet, traveling up the spine to the crown of the head. And then exhale, just recycling that back down. Good, another steady, mindful breath. Long inhalation, pulling it up through the feet. Good, and then with awareness as you exhale, sending it down the spine, down out through the feet. Good. A little more, we'll come into some of those knee down lunges and low lunges, and then we're going to be working on the floor now. All right. Inhale, sweep the arms, look up. Exhale, gently hinge at the hips, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway, long spine. Exhale, plant the hands and then step the right foot back. Come down on the right knee. So drop the right knee. Good. Pause here for a moment at the top of the foot on the mat. As you inhale, pull the heart through the shoulders. Good. Right next to the knee. Good. Feel as you push into the back foot, that's down, that the thigh starts to stretch, the quad stretches, that hip opens up a little bit. Good. Front of hip opens, I mean. Good. Good. And then exhale, just take the left knee back for a knee down plank. We'll facilitate this through the flow, but we'll do it the knee down. Good. Inhale here in plank. Pull the fingertips back towards the knees. Engage the frontal core. And then exhale, send the hips high. Bend the elbows. Drop the heart. Drop the chin in between the hands. Good. As you inhale, come up for just a mild back bend here. Your cobra, your bhujangasana. And then exhale, push into the palms, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Good, just really one nice and slow breath here. Inhale in dog, push into the palms, sink the heart. And then exhale, let the heels lengthen, drop down towards the mat. Good. Inhale, bend the knees, look forward. Exhale, this time, step the right foot forward, drop the left knee. Good. Inhale, pull the heart through the shoulder blades, right next to that front right bent knee. Nice. And then as you exhale, step the left foot forward to meet the right, meet at the top of the mat in a forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway along spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep all the way up, look up. Exhale, hands heart center. Push the palms, lengthen spine. Good, mindful inhalation, sweep the arms up. Exhale, hinge at the hips, fold forward. Inhale, let the fingertips come up on the shins, long spine, half lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step the left foot back, drop the left knee. Inhale again here, pull the heart through. And then as you exhale, this time, take the right hand to that right knee, and then flatten the left hand on the mat, and then turn the heart towards the knee, towards the right hand. So just a mild twist here. Good. Inhale again here. Good. And then exhale, plant the right hand. Take the right knee back for that knee down plank. Inhale, knee down plank. Exhale with a knee down chaturanga. Inhale, just a baby or medium cobra here. Elbows are coming in, bent right by the side ribs. Heart comes through. And then exhale, downward facing dog or child's. Just one breath here. Inhale and downward facing dog, if that's where you're at, pushing into the palms. Exhale, letting the heels sink towards the mat. Good. Inhale, bend the knees, look forward. Exhale, step the left foot forward, drop the right knee. Inhale, pull the heart through the shoulder blades. And then exhale, really plant the right palm into the mat, fingers spread wide. Take the left hand to the left knee, push into the left palm, and then turn the heart towards the left knee, left hand. Good, neck is long. Neck is moderately engaged, but mostly relaxed. No tension in the neck. Good, extra breath here. And then exhale, untwist, plant the left hand, step the right foot forward, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep all the way up, look up. Exhale, hands heart center. Good, another mindful breath here in between the flow. So as you inhale, feel like you're pulling the air up through the feet even. That energy travels up through the legs, the spine, the hands, top of the head. And then as you exhale, you release. You just let that travel with awareness all down through the body, back into the earth. Let it go. Good, another mindful, long, slow inhalation. And then a nice, smooth, releasing exhale. Good. Good. If you're ready, push the palms. Inhale, sweep the arms, look up. Exhale, hinge from the hips, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway, nice and long spine. And then exhale, plant the hands. Step the right foot back. You can keep that knee lifted this time if you like, if that's suitable for you, or drop the knee. If the knee is lifted, even if it's not, as you inhale again, pull the heart through. Good. Exhale, stay in that position, this low lunge. Good, opening up the front of that right hip. Breathing into that right hip. Good, just feeling that sensation. Nice. Good, one more breath, inhale. Good. And then exhale, just step that right foot forward into a forward fold. Lift halfway as you inhale. Good, nice and long spine. And then exhale, plant the hands. This time step the left leg back. Good. Inhale, pull the heart through. And exhale, stay. Good. Again, you can drop the left knee if you're feeling too much tension in that leg. Otherwise, try to keep that left knee lifted. Good. Heart comes through. Left quad. Lots of sensation, at least for me. Good. Inhale here. Nice. And then exhale, drop the left knee. And then you come into a table. Good. Inhale here in table. And then exhale, sink the hips back for child's. Good, just a moment in child's, just relax. The forehead maybe comes down onto your blanket or your mat. And a couple of nice, smooth breaths. Good. Inhale, pull forward, come into table. Good, and set up for as best a table as you can. Fingers are spread wide. Pushing the palms, wrists under the shoulders, knees under the hips. Nice. And then as you inhale, lift the right leg. Straighten the foot, or really actually, I'm sorry, don't straighten it, but flex it. You're straightening or lengthening the back side of the leg. So like you're lengthening the heel towards the back of the room, whatever's behind you. Good, keep that engaged. Good, front of core is engaged. And then just ever so slightly, see if you can do this. Start to stack the right hip on top of the left. You can bend the knee here. That might be a nice version. And actually, that feels pretty good. And here, to help facilitate this, I'm bending into my left elbow a little bit. I'm keeping my right hand, I'm tenting the fingertips and pushing in. So I'm on like a tripod with my two hands, and then my knee, well, really my back left foot is up too. Good, just inhale here. I'm gonna actually come all the way down onto the forearm and turn the heart even towards the right. Good, and then exhale, let go. Bring that knee back down. Good, and then come off the wrists for a moment. We've been on those, so come into a Virasana or hero's pose. Just staying on the knees, but spine is long. Good, arms are long in front on the thighs. Good, inhale here. And you can even wiggle the wrists. You can take them forward, flex them forward, just to give them a relief. Good, mindful breath. Here, come into the belly, balloon the belly. As you balloon it out, relax the breathing muscles. Good, and then exhale, gently contract. Good, come back into table. And then same thing, other side. Really ground down into the hands here as you lift the left leg this time. Flex the foot, so nice and long leg. And then long spine too, neck is long. Great. And then push into the right hand and then start to stack the left hip on top of the right hip. Good, maybe tent the left fingertips. And then bend maybe the left knee, see if that helps with some of that opening. And then again, just like a mirror the other side, I'm bending into my right elbow a little bit just for some more support to bring the front of my body down to help lift that left leg up. Good. Nice. And then on your exhale, undo all that. Bring the knee back down. And then come off those wrists again. If you want, you can try bringing them under, in between the thigh, the back of the thigh and the calf, and sitting on them or kneeling on them. That's a nice compression, like a massage, essentially. That feels good in my body right now. Good. Nice. Okay, again, come forward to table. Stay focused on the breath, or I'm going to cue it a little bit less. Here, take the left leg out. You're still on top of that knee, just at a small angle. And then take the right leg out straight into a gate pose or Parighasana. So in this pose, I'm a little bit like a triangle just on the ground. So my left hand is spread wide. It's out in front of the shoulder, pushing down into the palm. My right hand is now on my hip. I'm turned towards the side, the long side of my mat. My right leg is long. The inner arch is essentially lined up with the left knee, and the left then shin extends out from that knee. So three spots in contact with the ground: the left hand, the left knee, and the sole of the right foot, which is extended and long. So now we have a long side body, all right? Long right side body. Good. As you inhale and just mindful breathing, just gently create the action of trying to lift that right hip, send it up towards the ceiling. It won't really go anywhere, but you might find just a couple millimeters of length, more lengthening on that side. Good. If this is too much, come up on the forearm onto your chair. The left forearm. If you want more, what's nice here is to then stretch the right arm on top of the body and rest, or try to rest, the bicep on the right ear. And then a little bit more even, bend at the right elbow and then catch the side of the left, or the side of the head, left side of the head with the hand. Good. Good. And then exhale, release. And then just come onto the knees facing forward. I'm facing the camera now, the long side of the mat. Good. Pause and just digest that pose. It's a long side stretch. Good. And the same thing, second side. So start by coming up onto that right knee. Take the right arm, right hand, right palm onto the mat and just coming out in front of the shoulder. So not under the shoulder, but out. Creates more stability. And then take the left leg nice and long and work to get the sole of the left foot, when it's extended nice and long, on the mat. All right. Take a look at the inside elbow of the right arm and rotate it so that it starts to point towards the flesh in between the thumb and the forefinger. Good. That helps create the correct engagement of the shoulder blade here with this arm extended out. And then you can lift the left arm, left hand. You can take that overhead if you want, or just start it on the left hip. Push into the palm, push into the sole of the left foot, even push into that right knee that's on the ground. And then mindfully breathing, take the left arm overhead. Good. Long side body stretch. And then maybe even bring the left hand around to cradle the right side of the head. And then let the head go into the hand, just using the head's weight to increase side body stretch. Good, come to the breath. Nice. And then as you exhale, undo it. Bring the knees under. And then come back into the child's pose. So we'll come back to child's. Good. Good. As you breathe in here, feel the contact of the forehead with the mat or the blanket. Now feel like you're breathing in through the forehead and cycling that breath all the way through the body. And then as you exhale, just releasing it, just letting it go back into the mat, back into the earth. Good. Good, and then push up, and then do come onto your back. Soles of the feet hip width distance apart. And then readjust yourself. Ground the back of the pelvis down on the mat. Feel the soles of the feet on the mat. Embrace all that sensation. Now back body is touching the surface. So there's a lot of sensation in this position. Good. Good. Good, and then easy does it, a couple of bridges here. So push as you inhale, push into the soles of the feet, lift the hips, and you can have these 90-degree arms, or the arms can be holding the sides of the mat just to help support. You might roll the shoulders even all the way under the torso, maybe even interlace the fingers, that's good. You can also bring the palms to the bottom, to the underside of the hips and help hold the hips up. It actually feels good to me right now. So that's what I'm doing. But engage the glutes, engage the butt. Push down into the soles of the feet. And just lift the chin a little bit away from the chest, just to try to give a little bit of space in the throat. The back of the neck is long. You're not jutting the chin away. Most of the awareness in the pose is on the hips, the glutes, the soles of the feet, the pelvis lifting, and engagement of the low back. Good, as you exhale with awareness, release, come down. Good, pause here with a flat spine, neutral spine. Don't change anything. Just be aware of the sensation, digest those sensations. What are those sensations? The low back. Maybe it was a lot of work. Good. Maybe we greet that with negativity. I often do. And that's okay. But we don't have to get absorbed into, say, the drama of that. We can just let it be and just name it for what it is. Good. Gently take the knees from side to side. Just windshield wiper. Just kind of wash that sensation off the low back now. Good. And then cross the right ankle, stack it on top of the left knee in a figure 4 position. And maybe this feels good for you to leave the sole of the left foot on the mat. If you want more, raise that foot up off the mat, bring the knee in towards the chest, and then you could even thread the needle with the right arm, interlace the fingers under the left knee, and then pull that knee in towards the heart, towards the face. And then even with the left elbow, you can bring that into the thigh and push the right knee away from you and just increase the stretch in the hamstring and the hip in this figure 4 position. Good, just a couple breaths here. Good. And then with this position, in this whole situation, take it to the left. So sole of the right foot comes down to the left. We're twisting. So you twist to the left, and I actually have to lift my hips up and walk them to the right a little bit just to help that twist more. And then today, what might feel nice is I'm going to take my left hand to the outside of my right thigh, and then I'm going to extend my right arm along and bring the right shoulder on the back of the mat. But I'm going to keep my gaze up towards the ceiling. It's a pretty deep twist here, but my left arm is just kind of hanging out on top of the leg. Good, still in that figure four. Just with the legs that are crossed, just gives a different approach to the twist. Good. Good, gently inhale. I'm going to use my left hand to help push the legs up to neutral. And then pausing in neutral again. Soles of the feet on the mat, being in neutral spine. Good. Exhale wherever you are in your breath cycle. And then one more bridge pose. So push into the soles of the feet as you inhale, lift the hips, squeeze the bottom. And then again, so many options with the arms. You can again hold under the bottom, under the hips, squeeze the bottom though. Or you can interlace the hands and walk the shoulders towards each other under the torso, lift up. One more inhale. And then mindfully, but keep the engagement of the back. Exhale, lower the hips, nice and slow. Good job. And then left ankle on top of right knee. Figure four this side. You can leave the sole of the right foot on the mat, or you can inhale and pull the right knee towards the face. You can thread the left arm through the gap in that the legs, and then interlace the hands and pull the right leg in towards the chest. More left elbow is in the left thigh, and it pushes that thigh away from the face. Good, steady out the breath. Nice, and then exhale, this whole situation drops to the right in a twist. And so again, this time my right palm is going to go on the top outside of the left thigh, and I'm going to extend my left arm out, palm up, out from the body. And then my gaze is up in just a neutral neck position. Good. Good. On your exhale, release. Come back to a neutral spine first with the soles of the feet on the mat. Feel the movement of that entire practice just now in the whole body. And then you might want to stay here for final resting pose for Shavasana with the soles of the feet on the mat, or extend the legs nice and long. Come into a final resting pose, maybe arms at the side, palms facing up. Take the head and the neck from side to side. Close the eyes. Relax the temples, relax the jaw, relax the tongue. And one more alert, attentive inhalation. And one last alert, attentive exhalation. And then let it all go and relax. Good. Come back to the breath. And gently wake the body up, or you're home. Do what you like. Stay here for as long as you want. Just rest without any effort. Otherwise, feel free to take some small movements into the body, to gently roll to one side. Pause for a moment there. Collect yourself. And you can mindfully push up to a seat, just really to sign off, just to say goodbye. Hands can come to prayer at heart center. We'll close just with one more round of mindful breathing. Breathing in, I know I'm breathing in. Breathing out, I know I'm breathing out. It's great to see everyone this afternoon. Take care of yourselves. I'll see you soon. Namaste.